still, even against the Valentina.
Yeah, they're gonna overwhelm Sans with as many big ultimates as they can find. They have 3, Edith, Farsa, and Chip.
But I don't know, a player like Sans, with that experience, with the fact that he's been in almost every single role, like, I would expect Sans to be able to kind of know which ultimate to pick up in which kind of scenario.
I feel like in the big fights, Sans might not even be really forced to use some of these big ultimates. In these kind of divey team fights alone, right? He can terrify so many people, stay safe in the by kiting backwards with the dashes. So even before the ultimate's in the picture, I feel like the Valentina already has value for Sans. What can he do after though, and how can he deal with this chip? That's the big problem.
I guess we'll have to see, Arashi, as we're heading straight into game number 1. Proving grounds for both of these teams. Once holding a certain layer, a certain era as well. Can the Sky Kings come back on top? Can they crawl out of the red zone? Or will it be the defending champions to stop them in their tracks? Ladies and gentlemen, game number 1, here we go.
All right. Put your eyes on the roamers, man, because I think Weedy definitely wants to be a bit more aggressive. And whenever you're on a chip, you have this this benefit of having built-in sustain, so you can see Weedy immediately go into dangerous territory. And as long as he doesn't get fully picked off, which in the early game, Onic can't really do just yet, I feel like he's doing just fine. But later on, Onic will have to use that burst damage, that crowd control to really threaten Weedy. Otherwise, they're going to lose out in the information department. But looking at the emblems here by IndieHome, you can see the Wodonos Blessing for Chip and the Farsa, his skill and Woody. So they're going to be trying to roam around as much as possible. Same thing for Onic. So roaming is the big idea. And once the roaming is done, I think it just comes down to the clearing and how fast these mid laners can really assist and help with the small skirmishes around the contestable objectives, like the Litho, like the small jungle camps that are a bit closer, more available to steal away.
Arashi, interesting choice of emblem for Sans on the Valentina. That's not something that we see too often.
The Quantum Charge? So potentially, right? That could be because he knows there's an Edith there, and so if he steals a Primal Wrath, he can use that as extra kite ability. And no, he usually goes for a Brave Smite, I would say. The Quantum Charge allows him to get some sustain as well still, so it's a bit of an adjustment that still allows him to have the benefit of the sustain that you usually get with that Brave Smite.
So we're already seeing a layer of flexibility here and adaptability, even from emblem choices from the Sky Kings. We're gonna see whether or not it works out. T-Boy so far doing a really good job of giving information as well as screening Weedy, who has not been able to find an opportunity just yet. I think that level 4 spike will be incredibly powerful for TLID. Let's see this turtle take.
No watch out already. Shadow gonna be used up. Fabian wins out. That retreat will be able to get there first. Arando gonna be chased. CC pops in the Primal Wrath, but gets taken down. Kai now on Witty. No, let's try and beat. Flicker out from Witty. A kill for the turtle. Keyboy going already into the enemy jungle. Fabian, no retribution. He's gotta be careful here. Keyboy, no way the dragon just yet. Fabian jumps back in with the quad shadow, forcing Keyboy to flicker out as Witty has the shortcut. Doesn't have the flicker, but will be looking for the crash course. Both teams disengage.
1-for-1 trade, and I believe that TLID was still able to get the orange buff, yes?
I believe so. I think Fabian was still able to secure it for himself there, fortunately for him. But you can see that both teams, there's no one wasted, man. The moment that there's a shift in the tempo, the moment that there's a advantage there, immediately there's going to be a response. But that's an interesting prediction there.
Talent prediction by GoPay. 2, Lim Kochil and Papulung for Onic 2-0, and the rest for TLID.
Yeah, I voted for Onic, by the way.
Oh.
Oh.
Very interesting. So you believe in the Baba Yeba effect?
Never doubted the man. Raja Yeba.
All right.
Goat.
Well, let's see how that plays out here in the mid game. This is where the synergy is going to be a bit more important.
Way the dragon over to Witty. The fuel lockdown. Not even giving him a chance to shortcut. Feathered airstrike to Zonia. Hezkiel away from the minions. 2-0 start for Onic.
Yeah, level 4 don't matter if the chip is taken off the board completely. Not given any room to look for that opportunity. We do see some rotations coming through from both Aran as well as Fabian. Looking to take that jungle creep away from Kyrie, but he's still able to take it out. There's a lot of zoning coming from Lutpi as well. So far, things are quite passive.
Pretty passive until it's not, right? I think, again, it all depends on the roamer. Because I don't think you're going to see the EXP laners like do a lot of moments to really engage a big fight. All these fights are taking a place near the objectives because both teams have a composition that plays around that, right? So I think look between Weedy and Keyboy to get the ball rolling, and from there it becomes a bit of a chess match here, a bit of a prediction duel almost. Both teams are trying to see into what the other team is trying to do. Keyboy though, already spotting Weedy out, and he has the advantage here of being able to escape from danger a lot more reliably compared to that chip.
So let's see the setup now for TLID, because technically they do have a little bit more power in the early game, especially with the Hayabusa, considering Kyrie on the Joy needs to wait for that power spike to hit. They're not forcing any fights, not like Evos did in match number 1. We do see them starting. Savero is in vicinity. Look at Keyboy.
Crash course. Keyboy with the dragon there for the airstrike to be coming in with a shortcut too, but Winnie's gonna be bursted down as the red tree will be used to get the turtle. Aaron Shiki gets one. It's Keyboy down. No trades on the board for Onic. That's a blazing duet over to Aaron Shiki. Sounds able to go in. That's a great escape from Aaron. Aran taken down by Sans. Winnie crash course again, but it's to his demise. Shadow kill transferred over to Sans and Savero. Fabian pinned down to the wall. Has the quad shadow. Oh wow! What an escape! But Fabian walks back up. Sans! How has he done that? A 1 HP escape and kill.
1-for-3 trade at the very end of it, despite TLID picking up that turtle, but those are a lot of kills and a lot of resources given over. Further airstrike opened up to zone Kyrie away, still going to be able to get the clear so that turret does not fall in favor of the Sky Kings.
Both these teams, man, they're playing with razor-thin margins. You're seeing players survive on a sliver of HP. And even when they're low, when they're at a quarter, they still keep moving back and forth here. So the willingness to try and attempt an outplay is very visible from how both teams are playing. But so far, you can see that in the golden at least, there's an advantage for Aaron right there. But the fact that they have 2 turtles, Team Liquid ID, and they're still gold, they're still below on gold by about 500 here. That's showing Onic having a bit more pressure, a bit more control that's allowing them to farm in a more dangerous area.
And look at Sans, right? 500 gold lead at 2-0-3. You did mention Sans on the Valentina, I think in the drafts earlier, and we're seeing that. Kyrie, 1v1. Not gonna commit to that. That's the pair-up that we were waiting for.
Now it's back to the waiting game. And watch for dive potentially, because so far, Widdy hasn't really been able to set up for any real impactful pickoffs. And usually you would see that shortcut being used to try to orchestrate some kind of dive, but Onic hasn't really allowed that to happen at all. They've been able to match the damage in the early game with these early game picks like the Valentina, like the Badang and the Cho. And technically they have more damage and crowd control for now. So Team Liquid ID are the ones just trying to get an advantage here because your roamer can make a global play, but individually, Keyboy.
Crash course canceling conceal. Widdy can be targeted. Terrify, a bit of poke. Widdy again pops into crash course, not using the shortcut just yet as Fabian holds the turtle. Aran trying to zone away, Keyboy. Jikundo coming down as well. The shadow kill will be there. Fabian with retribution. Shortcut to the back line. Widdy gonna be taken very low. Feather airstrike coming down, but it's the pin down from the play over to Fabian. Aaron pops him on for blazing duet from Savero. Aaron still dishing out so much damage. Savero taken down by Aaron. Sansing with a kill on Aran. Very low, and he won't be able to get the kill here. Aaron looking at one more shot over to Sans. Won't be able to get it. 2-4-3. TLID with a winning team fight. Kai ready with the electrifying beats.
Oh?
Will pop it to escape as Aaron pops the Zaman Force.
All right, both teams again clashing there in the turtle, but now it favors Team Liquid ID. They're able to get the turtle first, and afterwards, they were able to just withstand from all the damage coming through from Onic. Despite the fact that Sans was free-hitting with the Primal Wrath, and Savero has a full channel blazing duet right there. It's just not enough damage just yet to really swing the fight fully in favor of Onic. But I gotta wait and make more of those individual Keyboy pickoff plays because they've just seen from that fight alone, 5v5 all in, Team Liquid ID still has an advantage because they do have a Harith, and you can see the value there. The sustainability and burst damage, but also DPS. That's what the Harith brings to the table that Savero can't really do just now, and he's 2 levels down.
Yeah, not just yet. Savero's also on his second item, so that Trinity hasn't been formed. But the same can also be said for Aaron Shiki. He's sitting at 202. Oh, wait, that's so much damage on
Sans Fabian! That's the reason we call him the Usurper. Shortcut to Widdy! Finding the catch on Savero.
We were just talking about the man. And he gets instantly taken out. Savero punished.
Kyrie looking for electrifying beats. Aaron Shiki with his on force now. The quad shot on that landing. Kyrie still able to escape. Now regen gets out.
That's huge. San's taken out. 2-1-5 now. Savero also. That Trinity is going to hit a little bit later, perhaps, as Aaron Shiki doing work against Savero earlier on. That's the damage without the Holy Crystal.
Onic are trying to scramble to try and get that Lord, but Team Liquid ID burst it down immediately. Can Onic find something? Lutfi tries to try and get a catch here, Keyboy.
Keyboy with the kick, but it's only onto the tank right now as the Feather Airstrike locks him down. Great Earth Shatter from Aran.
Oh boy, man. Team Liquid ID now are getting the full control. Earlier, the balance was swinging back and forth between both teams, but now Team Liquid ID have a very clear lead now. Onic definitely on the back foot. They have tools though to try and make some plays happen, but they gotta wait. And while they're waiting, Witty and Fabian are just waiting around, waiting for a chance to make an individual play or a team-based shortcut play that we still haven't really seen. A massive shortcut to really go for some kind of pickoff.
Not just yet, but that possibility is always lurking, and Onic knows that. So far, it's Onic that's been the one to look for an engage and kind of fail with the range coming from Yehezkiel. The damage already there with 2 items under his belt. That's a 1,700 gold lead on Aaron Shiki, by the way.
Pretty crazy, man. 3-0 and 3. Still no deaths despite all the dangers right here. He's doing a good job really respecting the damage potential coming in from Onic. We haven't really seen him overextend or get stuck in a position where he'll be in danger. Witty there gets spotted by Kyrie, but Team Liquid ID just brute forcing all these turret takes, using the damage and sustain advantage they have right now with a 4K gold lead, and it's still growing.
Yeah, and they're not forcing anything fancy, right? They don't really need to. The range alone has been able to zone Onic away. Keyboy giving up information, not looking for that moment once again. But all these turrets have been taken down. The shield in the bottom side as well has also been bursted. And that can be utilized to TLID's benefit. 4,800 gold lead.
Right. There's going to be a defensive move here from Onic. And Keyboy is definitely looking for something, but he might get caught.
Great Shunpu to escape there. But the airstrike still committed down on Keyboy. He'll be able to escape. But again, it's TLID with this crazy lead. Aaron, he's going to start to one-shot a lot of these, very squishy members.
He's standing on the Holy Crystal after all, so definitely a ton of burst damage. And the thing with Onic is they have outplay tools, but now they're going to really be forced to go for a front to back against a Farsa, a Harith, and also an Edith that's going to be just blasting away with a Primal Wrath. So they might have to really wait and try and find a moment where they can try and get a pickoff onto someone like Yehezkiel, perhaps, because they can't even go for Aaron Shiki because he has the Purify, and he hasn't really been abusing the fact that he has that Purify. He hasn't been overextending and allowing Onic to try and get something and force out that Purify before a big engagement.
Yeah, I think Yehezkiel is also going to be very key. I like that you mentioned that. So far, Yehezkiel has been very patient in opening up the Feather Airstrike, but his positioning in future endeavors will be very important. No Purify on the board for him, so it should be an easy target for Keyboy to pick up. And we've seen TLID falter in these teamfights when Yehezkiel makes certain movements. That's a Divine Glaive now for Aaron Shiki alongside that Holy Crystal. That's a lot of magic damage and pen.
Oh, Yehezkiel!
There it is.
The reactions of Yehezkiel. Witty with a shortcut behind, flanking Lutfi. Only finding Lutfi though. Are they going to take it? Around with Primal Wrath already. Keyboy bait. And able to get the Weatherly Dragon. They're going to try to burst him down, but Kai's getting very low. That should be over. Fabian jumps into the quad shadow one more time. Sans in the back! Yehezkiel taken down. He has the Primal Wrath now, and he's going to be silent to go in. Witty in the back going to be taking down Savero! Almost getting him down. A double from Sans. Now only against Aaron Shiki. Fabian's running for the hills. Gila Sans!
He's back! He's back! That's a wiped out, ladies and gentlemen, for the Sky Kings in minute number 13. And they're going straight into the enemy base.
They have the waves.
Oh my goodness. Glimpses of the old, the prime, the Sky Kings. a 5,000 gold lead. The madman who terrorized the world, MPL ID for the longest time, looks like he's back.
That definitely seems like the case. The fact that they were so behind, it's looking so bleak, and yet they found an angle. They found a moment created by the individual performance of Sans, of Kyrie,